All right. Good evening, everybody, once again. Can we all hear me, please? If you can hear me, please say you can hear me. Can we hear me clearly, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's start with the assignment. So I gave us an assignment last week. I know it was a very tough one. Some of us are coming to my DM to say, okay, how can they do the assignment? This, that. They encountered one particular issue or the other. So how many of us are able to attempt the assignment and you did it well and you feel like okay, you know you were able to get the perfect based on that picture, the screenshot I sent, you're able to get the perfect result. How many of us? Is a Ken, were you able to work on something? Or it was
Good evening, blessing. I was not able to. I've been very, very tired of since Monday, even till now. That was why I joined a bit late.
oh, it's
I
fine.
tried, I
Uh,
tried doing it today, but time did not permit me.
okay, no problem. Joy, okay, Joy. I think Adenike raised up her hands first. Sorry, Joy. Adenike, okay. You did it, right?
Yeah,
You're able to get it,
but not perfect.
but
I
not
just got the three column correctly. I was struggling with the rest, but I
all right.
submitted.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Joy, I saw your hands raised up, Joy.
Yeah, yes, same. I also did it, but not perfect. I was only able to get like 3 columns correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Damilala, you raised your hands up as well.
Yeah,
Can
good
Dami hear me?
evening.
Hi, good evening, Dami.
I was able to do it. I did the 5 column.
Amazing, amazing. All right. So who is on his system here that from those of that has done our own, you want to show us what you've done? Just one person. Dami, are you with your system? Did you join with your system? Okay. Okay. Joy, you joined with your system, right? So
Yeah,
would
yeah,
you
I
like to
did.
show us? Would you like to show us what you've done?
Yeah.
All right. Can you share your screen, please? So we'll do the correct one in class here. We'll look at it together in class. I will explain to you, the steps you should have taken to get that result. Then from there, we'll move on to this class. Okay.
So
All right. So
I don't know
what
if
do you
you're
say?
seeing my hello,
Eh,
blessings. Are you seeing
yes,
my
I can.
screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. I can.
Okay.
I can see your screen.
So this is my screenshot. So my screenshot has only 4 columns.
Okay.
Store, start, date, and sales.
Okay.
So I also wrote the steps that I took.
Actually, what I want
I
to see now, is to see your. Wait, where did you do it on? Power BI, right?
no on Power Query. Oh, Power Query Excel. Yeah.
In Excel.
No, Power BI, sorry.
Okay,
Hmm.
you did it in Power Query in Power BI, right? That's what I want
No,
to see. I want to
I
see.
did it in Excel. Sorry, I did it in Excel. I forgot. Oh my God.
The assignment should have been done in Power BI, Power Query inside Power BI, not
Yeah.
Power. Okay, all right. So thank you for sharing. So who? Okay,
Okay.
um,
I
Adenike, right?
forgot. Oh my God.
Adenike, did you?
Yes,
Are
I
you?
did.
Did you join the system? Would you like to show us what you've
No,
done?
my network is not that strong to
It's
connect
not
with
that
system.
strong. Okay, what about Dami? Dami, did you join with your system?
No,
Dami,
I joined with my phone.
all right. So that means I'll have to go through everybody's. I've not checked the assignment submitted. Do. All right. So let's check it together. Let's look at it together in class. Then I think Dami, you put me through since you said you got all 5 columns correctly. So you're gonna put me through on how you did that, and let's see if you're correct, right? So let me just click on the. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me share my screen. Share. Yeah, entire screen. All right. So can we all see my screen, please? Can we see my screen? If you can see my screen, please let me know you can see my screen. I just need someone to say
Yes,
something. Can we all see my screen, please?
yes,
Or-
yes, I can.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so I'm just going to open a new blank report and I would bring in that data. Then Dami would put us through on what he did. He said he got all 5 columns correctly. He will put us through on what he did. Then I'll go to get data. I think it's a CSV file. Um, Where is the file? Let's go to my downloads. Okay. Amazing. Okay. I don't know that I downloaded this data. Alright, so give me 1 minute. I thought I did. Just give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, please. Alright, so sorry, can you all hear me, please? I thought I already downloaded these materials before now. Yeah, I did. So it's here. Why can't I see it? Alright, so let me just go back. Come here to okay, so let me see. Oh, it's an Excel workbook, that's why I can't see it. So go back, Excel workbook, then this is it. Now bring it in. Alright, so Dami, are you ready? Hi Dami, can you hear me? Can Dami?
I'm not I'm not ready.
You're not ready. You said you did it, so you should be able to tell me what you did so that we can do it together. I mean, put me through. But it's fine if you can't put me through, so I'll just do it. All right. So for example, those of us that couldn't get it properly, or you're wondering what we should have done. So I think from here, let's do it together in class. Now, if you look at this data, first I would have loved that we inspect it in Microsoft Excel. So let me go back to my file and open it so we can look at what we want to bring into Power BI. So yeah, so this is how the data looks like. This is how it looks like. The first 10 rows is just talking about data source, the server, the IP of where the data is coming from, basically. That's what it's just giving us. So the first 10 rows are not needed. So the data itself starts from row 11. And as you can see, you notice something. You can see that we have date and time as column headers. Then we have some values, probably sales values at the bottom. When you scroll down, for this part that holds metric, if you scroll down, you can see we have sales. If you still scroll down, you notice that we have another thing called margin. So this particular column for metric contains two values. It contains the sales as well as the margin. So this is how the data, this how it looks. All right. So let's just go back to Power BI. So we're here. So what's the first thing to do here? In this case, what's the first thing to do, everybody? What's the first thing to do? Can we hear me? Or my
Yes,
screen
I
is
think I
okay.
think we can first remove the top 9
Yeah, so
rows.
we'll remove now. The first thing we'll do is just remove the first 9 rows. So I'll come here, and where do you get this feature? You can find it in your home tab. You'd see it here. In your transform group, you'd see use first row as headers. So I'll come here. Sorry, not use first. We're removing top rows now. So I'll come here to remove top rows, remove rows. Then I'll come here to remove top rows. And then how many number of rows do you want to specify? I'm typing in 9. Then I'll hit OK. So let's say you made a mistake. Instead of 9, you choose something else. You can always come here to type in the correct value. So cancel. Now, and the next thing I want to do is to, update the column headers, because currently you can see clearly that column header that is meant to be at the top is currently on the first row. So I have to use first row as headers here. So that's where you can find it in your transform tab. In your home tab, I mean inside your transform group, you'd see the button here. So I'll go with the first option, use first row as headers. Now click on this. Good. So we have this metric, we have store, we have cart, we have ref1, then others like this. Here, this can see we have dates as column headers, date and time as column headers. Now, number one thing first, let's start with this first column here. What I want to do is to fill these values here down with sales and margin. We already checked the column for metric that it contains sales and margin as it's only two value there. So what I want to do is to fill from here, from this second row down to where margin begins with sales, then from where margin starts downwards with margin. And I showed us in our last class, I showed us fill up and fill down. So what I'm doing in this case is going to be fill down. And remember, thankfully, we have null here. In some cases, you might not see any null. You may just see blank, blank. And remember, I told you that when you see blank and you want to fill down, you have to first fill or change that blank to null so that you tell Power Query that, okay, this particular cell is empty before you can fill down. So now I'll select this column for metric. Then I'll go to my transform tab. Then in my any columns group, you would see the button fill. I'll click on that drop down button and select fill down. Then to fill down the value, you'd see sales all true. Now let me cancel this step first of all. Let's check this column. So what you can see here is that we have nulls, shows that they are empty cells. We have sales. List may not be complete. So I'll click on load more. Then to tell me the other values we have, you can see we have sales and margins that are null values. So let's fill down now. Fill down. So I've filled down. This is sorted. My store is okay. Now there's no ref in that image I screenshotted. So it means we have to remove the column for ref. So I'll right click on this and say remove because I don't need it. Then, like I mentioned, we have from column 4 to the last column is having date as the column header. Looking at the record here, seeing that we have over 159 columns, 999 plus rows. That's a lot of data, a lot of columns. And doesn't make sense when you have something like this with column header that is showing a date attribute. I was saying something about the first rule of data normalization that states that every attribute or values must have its own column. And what you are seeing as column header here, they are attribute of date and time. It should not be made column header. So I have to unpivot it so that it will be on the row. So how do I do that? It doesn't make sense for me to start selecting from here now to select, pressing down my shift button, then to the last column. It's going to take forever for me. It will take a while. So the goal is to work smartly. And how do I work smartly? I'm going to select the first 3 rows, pressing down my shift button like this, select the first 3 rows. The moment I select the first 3 rows, you can even see that the pivot column button is already in faint color. So it means it's not active. It means the only thing I can do is to unpivot. So I'll come here. Don't just click on this unpivot. Click on the drop down button. Then we have 3 options. There's unpivot columns, unpivot other columns, unpivot only selected columns. What I want to do is to unpivot the columns that were not selected. So I'm going to select unpivot other columns so that I can remove those column headers that are seen there and place them back on the rows. And we'll now have a single column for all the values, numerical values. So I'll select unpivot other columns. When I select unpivot other columns, you now see we have a column containing all the column headers we were seeing before, now as a date and time column. Then you can see we have, let me move this here now. Then you can see that we have another column that contains all the values. Good. So I'll come here now. Now let's work with, this is text, this is number, whole number. This is, this is date and time. And this is, of course, decimal. So 1.2, it's giving decimal this thing. So let's come here. First thing first, I'm going to rename this from attribute to, let me give it date, because I want it to be a date. If I come here and say, okay, let me change this to date and time, because that's the data type. So select date and time. You can see that we have error. It's giving us error. Now click on the error to know what it is. And it's saying that date format error, we couldn't pass the input provided as date time value, details 13/01/2017. So what it's saying is that the date is in a US format, but our data is in the UK format. So remember how I taught you how to deal with situation like this when it comes to data comes from different location. I told you to change data type using locale when you're dealing with something like this. So what do? I'll click back on that icon there, and I'll go straight to using locale. Then I'll click on using locale. Because this error is due to location, different time zone of our data, where it's coming from. Now call me and say, okay, once that little box pops up, okay, what do I want to do? I want to change data type to what? First, I'm going to select data type because what is there is currently data time. Then I will change the location. That okay, it's not coming from United States because the format of this data is in a day, month, and year format, which is the UK format. And I'll go to select UK, English, United Kingdom, like this. Then I'm going to hit OK. So once I do this, you can't see any error. Then I would now change it from date and time to show just dates alone. That's how we have this, like this. Then the next thing I want to do is to have a column for all you're seeing here is sales. This is sales value. All these values, the values you are seeing here, from this first row down to the point where we have a row above margin is for sales. Then for margins downwards, let me filter it. Let's select margin. Load more. I will uncheck all and check the one for margin. So you can see the one for margins. So you can see margins, the one for margins. Yeah. So what we want to do is I want to pivot this metric column such that these values here will be divided into sales column, then margin column. This is where unpivoting comes in. So I'll select this column for metric, select it, then I'll come here and hit the button for pivot column. So it says, okay, use the names in the column metrics to create new columns. So pivoting is used when you want to use values in a particular column to create other columns. Then it's the next section is values column. That is, what is going to be the values that be splitted into these columns. I want the value, this value here to. So I've selected that and I'm going to hit OK. This is going to take a while because we have lots of data there before it's going to pivot. But this is how it is. That's it. So let's wait for it to load. So hello, can we hear me? Can we hear me? Can we hear me, please?
Yes,
Yes.
So
Yes,
who did the whole thing? Dami, was that how you approach your work? Can Dami hear me? Is Dami still on the call? Okay. Yeah, Dami, you're still on the call. Was that how you approach your work? Oh, I guess. Okay. Adenike, your hands is raised up. Was that how? Can you hear
okay,
me?
thank you.
Okay.
Yes, when you
I not
selected
separate
three
the
columns.
date and time.
Okay.
Sorry, Dami. When Nika is done. Okay, Nika, you said
Okay, when you selected the three columns and you
okay.
said on pivot the other columns. My
Yeah.
own still on pivot the three column I did not like the first three column and your own did not do that. I don't know.
That's because what option did you select? What did you highlight? Is it the first three column you highlighted?
Yeah, no, the first three. Okay, thank you. I think I get something now. Thank you. Don't worry.
All right, Zainab, your hands is raised up as well. Zainab, you want to say
Yes, good
something?
evening, ma'am.
Good evening,
Yes.
ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. So before I loaded into the Power BI Power Query, so I had to separate the sales from the margin. So I had to do it sheet by sheet. Like I copied and pasted the sales information to a sheet, then the margins information to another sheet. So that was how I was able to load them one by one. I didn't do it
Oh,
all together like the way you did it.
oh, okay. But now I believe you've seen a better way to do that now. All right.
Yes.
Where is Dami? Dami was saying something. Has he gone off? Yeah, Dami, you were saying something. Sorry, Dami. Can Dami hear me?
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I
All
can
right,
hear
so you
you.
said something. You were saying something the other time.
So what I was saying is that I did not separate the date and time. So I left it like that,
Okay.
and
You left
the
it that way.
agents did not show. Yeah.
But apart from that, every other thing were like you got them correctly, right?
Yep, I think so.
All
And
right. So as you
maybe if
can
you
see,
check it, you see some correction
okay.
there.
So as you can see
Yeah,
now, can
thank
you
you.
see that we now have the correct, exactly the description I sent to us? You can see we have store, category, column,
Yeah,
date column,
yes,
sales
ma'am.
column. Now, yeah, here I'm listening. I'm with you.
Sorry, ma'am. Can we redo that date?
The dates, right? Okay,
From
now let
the
me go over it
date
again.
downward, yes.
All right, let me go over it again. So for the dates, okay. So let me do that by where did I change using locale? So let me cancel this step. Delete. Okay, so yeah. All right, so I think here from here. So let's do it here. Oh, but I've not missed. But let's do it here. So I'm going to select this thing. I said, remember, we should choose date and time straight or date. It will not because the regional setting of my Power BI is US, and this date is in a UK format, day, month, and year. So I have to change it using locale to tell Power Query that this data is coming is in a UK format. So I'm going to go straight to using locale. Then yeah, let me insert a step using locale. Then I'll select data type to be date and time because we can see that the data type here is date and time. So select date and time. And I'm going to tell it that the location is not United States, but UK. Now go straight and select United Kingdom. And I'm going to hit OK. And that would fix the date correctly for me. Then I can now change from this date and time to normal date. Yeah. So does that make sense? Did you get that? Did you get that?
It's still showing error.
Yours is showing error.
Yes.
What did you click on?
Okay, I click, and when I click on it, I will go to that using locale.
Okay.
Then I go to that place. Then I change the date to date the
Okay.
data type to date and time.
Okay.
Then English to English United Kingdom.
Okay. And it's still showing you
Then
error. So can you read the error?
yes,
What's the error? Click on the error and see what the error is telling you. What is the error? What is it saying?
he said we couldn't pass the input provided as date value.
Okay, what's the date they are saying?
6/1/2017, then 12:00:00 a.m.
Okay. Can you share? Did you join with your system?
No, my network is not strong. I'm trying to, but it's not
Okay,
strong.
okay, okay,
So
okay.
that
So
will
you
not
know
miss.
what?
So
You
I
know
have
what? You know what? Maybe later we'll look at it together, right? So since I'm not
to,
seeing your screen, I can't point out what the issue is for you. So
no problem.
let's
Thank you.
let's see. All right. All right. So that's how you do this. That's how you did it. So let's just I want to bring in I sent us another data. So remember I couldn't explain data normalization in our last class. So I'll do that here in this class. Then if time permits us, we'll just move straight to our class project, where from there we'll look at other things, other DAX functions and DAX functions, DAX measures and calculated column. All right, so let me bring in that data instead of closing this.
Sorry, for cutting you short.
Okay.
So I've been putting my hand. Concerning, I don't know the person that just spoke, and I don't know the person's name. So I think
Okay.
she said she selected date and time instead of ordinary dates on the data type. So I think that's why it's bringing error. So instead of date, she said she chose date and time.
Okay. Maybe because I remember choosing, all right, Adebayo Daniel. Yeah. I remember choosing date and time when that dialog box for Locate pops up. Date and time first. The reason I was done changing to correct date and time for the correct location that I changed to date. So yeah, Adebayo Daniel, you raised your hand. Daniel, you
All
want to say
right.
something?
Sorry for
Okay.
disturbing. I
Okay.
was not in the last class, so I went to check the class recording link, and I
Okay.
got the assignment. But mine is bringing ref one here. It's bringing a form of word and numbers, and I'm finding it difficult to get rid of it here. Just word and number. It's just like a registration number here.
Ref
But
one.
I
Okay,
got
ref one. You have to delete the column. Delete the ref one column. Delete it. Just right click and
okay.
remove.
Thank you very.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
So we can just continue. So let's just continue. So I'll bring in that data that I said we want to use to look at data normalization. Is it an Excel file? Let me check. All right, so it's an Excel. Is it? I think it's all right. I think it's an Excel file. So let's bring it in. So I'll come here and I'll hit on Excel workbook. Yeah. All right, so let me just bring in this one for 2011. So we'll use this to explain that. Then I'm going to hit OK. All right, so guys, let's go. What should I do here? What's the first thing to do here? What's the first thing to do here? Look at our data. What do you notice about the data? Are we together?
Remove top rows.
Yes,
The
we
first
removed
Top
row
top
should
rows.
be
rows.
the header.
Yeah,
Top
so
two
remove
rows.
first. Yeah, remove first row. Thank you. So I'll come here and say remove rows. I want to remove top. How many number of rows are we removing? How many number of rows are we
Two.
removing?
Two.
Two. Good.
Two.
Thank you. Two. Then I'm going to hit OK. So what's the next I'm going to do after this?
Use
What should I do
first
after
row as
this?
header.
First row.
Use first row as headers. Thank you
Remove
very
first
much.
column as header.
So I'm going to use first row as header. I'm going to click here, then use first row as header. All right, good. Now before we look at data, the data type, so let's inspect our column one after the other. There's the order ID, date, customer ID, customer age, customer gender, product subcategory, product ID subcategory, product itself. Then we have order quantity. We have okay. Yeah, so you can see that for this product is holding the product size, the size. So we are saying product name as well as the product size. So let me inspect this column and see if all of them have the number. So they all have number and they're separated by comma. So it means we have to split this good into product name and product size. All right, so we have order quantity, unit cost, unit price, cost, revenue, location. So what can we say about this location? The location is this particular column have like three columns combined together. You're seeing location ID, the country, the state. So it means we have to split it. Then we have product category that is having the values in a bracket. So we have to do some cleaning here before we move on. So let's start with the products itself. So how do I split this into product name and product size? Who is helping me out? Remember we did split in our last class. So who's helping
We
me out?
split
So
every delete.
by using the split columns and using the delimiter feature. So we are
Okay,
to
all right.
use comma as our
Split,
delimiter.
split by delimiter. So what's our delimiter? That's what's
Comma.
our delimiter? Comma. Thank you very much. Comma. At each occurrence, I'm going to hit OK. So all right. So we have this now. Then I'm going to just change this from product to product name. Product name. Then I'll change this to product size. Thank you. All right. So the next thing, we are done with other. There's nothing in other quantity. Unit price is okay. It cost, revenue. So now location. So we're going to split into three different columns because we can see we have location ID, country, and state all combined together in the same column. Still using the split feature, I'll come here, click on drop down button. So our delimiter here in this case is some call it bar, some call it pipe. So it depends on whatever you know this particular symbol to be. So I'll click on the delimiter by delimiter, and you could see that by default, it already picked the delimiter in that particular column, which is this particular symbol. Each occurrence of delimiter, because we want it to split anywhere. Each occurrence means anywhere you see that delimiter, split it. If you wanted to just split from the right alone, you would click rightmost delimiter. If you wanted to split from the left alone, you click leftmost. But if you want at each occurrence, that is anywhere it sees that particular delimiter, split the data. So I'll leave it at this and I'll go straight to hit OK. So I have this one. Then I'm going to rename. I'll rename. This is location ID. Good. This is for country. Then we have the state. State. hit enter. Now this one, we have the category name of product in between brackets. So what do I do in this case? Should I split, or what do I do? How do I bring it out? Who is helping us out?
Extract,
Sir?
yeah, extract,
Good.
Extract.
extract
You
between
can
the limit.
extract. So I'll select this and I'll go to my transform tab. Then in the text column group, I'll see the extract feature. So I'll click here and say, okay, I want to extract. I'll go with text between delimiter because you can see the data here in this case is open bracket and close bracket. So I'll hit this and I'll say, okay, the start delimiter is open bracket, end delimiter is close bracket. And I'm going to hit OK, and that should extract it for us. Okay, so we have this now, and I'm going to change this to just product. Yeah, so we are okay. This is some basic. Now let's look at the data type. Now, first thing first, I remember I said anytime you are working with data, always try to profile based on the entire data set, not just top row, because profiling based on top row may not pick data, pick errors or empty cells. Yeah, Ma, you want something?
Like, can you repeat that what you just did? Like the screen was paused or something. Good.
Okay, where did you get lost?
That's bike something. That bike, Abby.
All I did was, let
The
me go back.
bracket.
All I did was
Yeah.
just select the column, right? Go to your transform tab. In your text column group, you'll see the extract feature there. Click on the drop down button and select text between delimiters. So once you do that, specify your start delimiter, that's open bracket, your end delimiter to be close bracket, and you hit OK or enter button, and that will fix that for you. Then you can now
That's
rename
good.
to
Thank you.
just product category alone. All right, so we have this now. So I was saying something about not profiling based on top 1000 rule, but on entire data set. So I'll come here and click on entire data set so that if there's error in any of the columns or there's a problem, it will let me know there's a problem and I'll have to fix it. So right, we have this. All right, so the next thing now we want to do is
Hello,
normalization.
Blessing.
Yes, I'm listening.
Could you please repeat the part of profiling based on the entire data, kindly?
Yeah, I was saying that if you always try to profile by default, when you bring your data into Power Query, you would see it will be on column profiling based on top 1000 rows. But what if you bring in data that is more than 1000? So it means that if there is no error in your first 1000 row, no empty cell, you won't see it because you're not profiling based on entire data set. But when you select profile based on entire data set, it will profile all the data from row 1 to the row last and let you know if you have error or if you have empty values or empty cells, I mean, in each of the columns. So it's important that you profile your data based on entire data set. So it won't miss out on any error or any empty cell. Are we together? Does that make sense? Can Joy hear me? Does
Yes.
that make sense? All
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah,
thank you
it
very
does.
much. All right, thank you. All right, so let's continue. So we have this now. I was saying something about data normalization in our last class, how that data normalization has to do with you splitting your data into different tables, then creating relationship between them to reduce data redundancy and to ensure that there's consistency in your data, right? That's redundancy, means removing duplicates from your data. So, and I said something about the rules of data normalization. We have two rules. The first one is that every attribute or values must have its own column. That was where pivoting and unpivoting came. Unpivoting or data came. Like that's the rule that it fits in. Then the second rule states that every column describing another column should not be in that same table, but in a separate table. So I made mention about, let's say Isoken is a data analyst in our last class. Then her boss or her uncle comes to me and says, okay, Isoken, I'm going to be running a supermarket. I need you to help me create a model for my business. The first thing is, okay, we want to ask, okay, supermarket, what are the entities of this business? What makes up the business? You can't run a supermarket without customers. You can't run it without product. You can't run without suppliers. If it's going to be in different location, the location becomes an entity. So these are the entities of the business that the man wants to start. They are what forms the business, the system that forms the business. So the moment we are able to identify what the entities are, The next thing you want to pick is, oh, what then are the attributes of these entities? For example, let's pick the entity customer. Attribute of a customer could be customer ID, customer name, customer email address, customer home address, customer age, customer gender. Anything that talks about customer is called the attribute of customer. So when you are done, first thing first, I said first, on that, identify what the entities are. It is from the entities you identify what the attributes of those entities are. So that's the attribute. For product, you want to look at product ID, yeah, maybe product name, product category, subcategory, product color, anything talking about product, product attribute. Now, once you are done identifying the entities and their attributes, the next thing you want to do is now normalize it, splitting them into different tables, facts and dimension tables. Then once you are done, you create relationship between these tables. So like when you get to the fact and dimension table, I would ask question on that for those of us that maybe have an idea of what fact tables are, what dimension tables are. So now let's first thing first, let's identify what the entities of this data, what it is. Then from there, we normalize them into dimension tables and fact tables. So first thing first, what's the first entity you can pick from this data?
Customer.
Entity.
Customer.
Entity,
Customer.
not attributes. Entity.
Customer.
Customer.
Good. Customer, right? So we have the entity customer. What's the next entity you can pick? What's the
Product.
next entity?
Product name.
Ma?
Product.
Product name.
Product.
Product. Thank you very much. What's the next entity?
Unit.
Ma?
Location.
Location. Thank you very much. Location. So now let's split into.
Location.
Now we now when you see the customer, the entity customer, you can see we have like 1, 2, 3, like 3 columns describing customer. So they should not be in that table because they're describing the customer. Following the second rule organization, that any column describing another column or an entity should not be in that table. So I'm going to split this now. We've identified customer, product, and um we identified the location. So we have error here. Let's check. Why is it giving us error? Why is it showing us error? So let's see. Load more. We are having error. So there's a problem. Okay. So let's check what the error is. I'll come here to my view tab, column quality. So we have 20% error in this data, around 12,365 errors. That's what we have here. So let's see. It's either not all product name have product size. So let's see. No, better still, let's look at the error. Let's keep the errors and see. Keep errors. So how do I keep error? I want to see what's causing the error now. All I have to do is just hover around this column quality here, come here, and I'll say keep error. So it will show me the error. So let's see what the error is. So the error is saying blue. We couldn't convert to number because so it's giving color. So let's go back. So what this simply means is that, so I'm going back. What this simply means is that we have, if it's showing us color blue, so it means that we have some product name that don't have size. There's no product size there. So let's just, okay. So let's replace all errors there with 0. If there's no product size there, let's just replace it. We're not going to be using our product size for anything. We're not using it for any analysis. So is that you remove that product size column or leave it there and let's just replace every error there. Since we have some, it means they don't have size, product size. So product size is 0. So you can replace your error there with something. So I'll come here, replace values. I'll say replace error with what? Let's replace error with 0. So I'll hit OK. So it will replace all our errors there with 0. So that way it won't have any error in this product size column. Note we don't need product size in our analysis. So let's just go back. So we've picked the entity customer, we picked the entity product, we picked the entity location. So what do I do next? So this is still giving us error. All right, so let me just do something. Let me just sort of splitting that. I won't split anymore. So let me remove the splitting for, I think this splitting is for cancel. Let me check the splitting. Yeah, this is for a comma. So I'm going to cancel that step. Let's not split that. Okay. Now, can you see the importance of not deleting or knowing where to delete? I deleted a particular step now and it's affecting all my work. So it means there's a problem. So you have to be sure. So you not cause problem for yourself when deleting some things. So I caused problem already now. So let me just go back. I'll leave this. I won't touch this. So I can see now that, so you could see the importance. I didn't profile based on the entire data set when I was investigating this particular column. That was why I didn't notice that we have some products that didn't have size. Even I wouldn't have splitted it. So let's go back. So let me quickly split this now. Okay.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm here. You want to say something?
Your screen moving, but I can't hear you.
Yes, yes. I'm not saying something. I'm not saying anything. I'm just trying to wait for this thing to load. So yeah, I'm not saying anything. Okay. So now let me just remove this column profiling quality so that this column quality here. Yeah. So we have this now. Now let's move on to the normalization. So I'm going to delete this one. This first data we worked on. I don't need it. Delete. Yeah. So this is the only one I need. Now we've picked our first entity to be customer. So I'm going to create a separate table that holds details for customer. So how do we do this? I'm going to right click on this, then duplicate it. So I'll come here to these properties here. I'll rename it to dim customer. So dim customer, it means this is a dimension table for customers. It will only hold details for customers alone. I'll hit enter. So what I'm going to do for this dim customer is to select everything that pertains to customer. So how do I do that? Come here to my home tab. In your manage columns, you would see choose columns. I'll click on that drop down button and select choose columns. So here I'm going to unselect all and select the ones that has to do with customer, which is the customer ID, the customer name, sorry, customer age, customer gender. I think I the only three things talking about customer here. So I'll hit OK. So I have a table for customer gotten from this original data set. Now it's talking about customer alone. The next thing I want to do is to now remove duplicate from this table based on this customer ID, because your dimension table should not contain duplicate. Just like saying this is a table that holds record of the names of some persons. So it should not have, it holds their record, not their transaction or the number of time they visit the business, but just a record for each customers. So it should not hold duplicate. A customer should not appear more than once. So how do I remove duplicates? Right click on this customer ID column, then come here and hit remove duplicate. So once I remove duplicates, you can see remove duplicate. Good. Then the next thing I want to do is So also do the same thing for the next entity we identify was product. I'll right click, I would hit duplicate as well. Then I'll come here and change from this name to dim product. Dim product. Good. Dim product. I'll hit enter. Then I'm going to go to my home tab, come to my choose column, and choose columns that talks about product. And I'll uncheck all. Then I'll check product ID. I'll go with subcategory next, then sorry, product ID, product category, then subcategory, then product. These are the things talking about product. And I'm going to hit OK. So this would only give us records about product. Then the next thing I'm going to do is remove duplicate from this table based on the product ID, because I don't want to have any product appearing more than once. Right click and I'll say, okay, remove duplicate. This will remove the duplicate from this table. So you can see we now have 130 rows. 130 rows from 999 plus rows. But the moment I remove duplicates, you can see how that it has remove redundant data, remove duplicate from the data. So you can see that. Now the next one I'm going to do, the next entity we identify was location. So I'll come here and hit duplicate. Are we still with me? Can we hear me? I will hit duplicate.
Yes.
Then, thank you very much. I'll
Wow.
remove this and I'll say dim location. Dim location. Then I'm going to hit enter. Then I'm going to go and highlight or choose columns that talks about location. Choose column. Uncheck all. I'll bring in location ID, the country, the state. I think these are the only things talking about location ID. I mean location itself. Then I'll hit OK. Then I'll do the same thing, right click, then remove duplicate from that. So you can see we have 53 rows out of 999 plus rows. We now have 53 rows left. That's the importance of splitting your data and removing duplicate from them. Okay. So now who can tell me who have heard about fact tables, dimension tables? You've worked with fact, you've heard of fact tables or dimension tables before. Anybody? Yeah, someone like there's this, I think it's was it Abdullah? Someone like Dami, Joy should have heard of fact table, dimension tables. Anybody? Just want to don't be shy, just try. Have you heard of fact tables, dimension tables? What do you think they are? Anybody?
Can
Who
I
wants to
try?
Yeah, you can try.
So dimension tables.
Okay.
We have, okay, let me start with facts. Facts tables contains quantities.
Okay, thank you.
They also have duplicates,
Okay.
while the dimension tables, they only contain a single instant of an entity, of like a product or like an
Okay.
appearance of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody wants to say something or add to what Joy said? Thank you very much for that, Joy. All right. So, what are fact tables or dimension tables? Fact tables are those tables that store quantitative data, measurable data from business transaction. It could be revenue. When I say quantitative, I mean numerical data. It could be sales, quantity, revenue, profit, loss, anything numerical. The fact table, they store them. Why dimension tables? What they do is to describe the data in the fact table. So fact table contains quantitative data or measurable data. It contains foreign keys of the dimension tables. Then, it contains event. Why dimension tables describes the fact table. All right, so let's go back. The next thing we are going to do, we've created the dimension table for the customer, product, and location. The next thing we want to do is to create a fact table. Fact table is meant to hold the quantitative data. So I'll right click and I'm going to duplicate this. Let's hit duplicate. Then I'm going to name this my fact table. Fact table. Then I'm going to hit enter. So fact table, I've hit enter like that. Then what do I want to do? I'm going to select things that talks about the business transaction. So let's go back. I'll come here to choose columns. Then I would come here, uncheck all. I'm checking order ID. I'll check in the date. Now, even if customer ID belongs to customer, I'm still going to check the ID because this will serve as a link between this fact table here and the deemed customer table. So I'll bring in the customer ID. I'll leave the customer age and gender. I'll bring in product ID. Where am I bringing this ID? You know, IDs serve as unique identifier for records in those dimension tables. So this is what I'm going to use to link this fact table to this dimension table. Remember I said the management has to do with you too. After splitting your data, creating relationship between them. So I'll leave subcategory products. I'll bring in other quantity because it contains quantitative data. Other quantity, unit cost, unit price, cost, revenue. I'm going to bring in location ID so that it would link fact table to dim location. I'll click on location ID. I'll leave country, states, and product categories. These are the only things I'm bringing in. So I'm going to hit OK. So I have this. So for my fact table, I'm not removing duplicates. Why am I not removing duplicates? Because a customer can come into the store more than, or I can even, yeah, since we have other ID here, so yeah, we don't have a transaction because this ID here represents, it's a unique identifier for every record here, right? So I can decide to, yeah, I can decide to remove it if I'm sure that we don't have some IDs appearing more than once. And how do you know? Do you know that okay, your table contains your ID column, the column that contains the ID contains duplicates? One of the ways you can is to come to your view tab, then check the column distribution. Then you can see, so it's showing us 100 distinct 100 unique. So it means we don't have duplicates. It is 100. So yeah, it shows we don't have duplicates. So I'm okay. I will not remove duplicate like that. So now we have fact table. Then there's another type of table that is very, very important when it comes to, that's your dim date. We have the dates here. So I want to create a date table so that if I want to do some trend analysis or perform, want to see previous year sales, just want to, yeah, maybe you want to do trend analysis, you will need a date dimension table that would give us more attribute of the dates. You want to see the year, the month, the quarter, the month name, month number. You want to just create a table that would describe, give more description to this column for date. So to do this, I'm going to show us two methods. I'll show us the one you can do here using M code. I'm going to show us one with your Power you can use using a DAX function called Calendar Auto in your Power BI front end. So let's look at this now. Let's start with the one you can create in your Power Query using M code. So how do I do this? Come here to my home tab. I'll come here to New Source, and I'm going to click on Blank Query. Right? I want to create a date dimension table that will describe the date column in the fact table. So I'll come here. So you have this query, I clicked on blank query to get this. When I selected this new source, I clicked on blank query to get this one. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come and select in my home tab, in my query group, I'm going to select advanced editor. So who have heard of M code or M language? Anybody you've heard of M code, M language? Anybody? Anybody? What can you say about M code? What can you say about M language? Nobody?
Hi, David.
Sir?
No, blessings.
Yes, I'm listening.
I
Fine.
watched the first data click Excel where
Okay.
you were teaching about for pivot.
Okay.
So it's just a formula I crammed, but I really don't know anything about it.
Okay. All right. So M code is just that is a Power Query formula language used for data transformation. That's what it is. You can find it in Excel. You can also find it in Power BI. So it's a Power Query M formula language used for data transformation. So I'm going to use that M code here now. Just like every drag and click you do in Power Query here is being recorded somewhere. Anything you drag, all the transformation we're doing, we're being recorded in M code. But let's use that. We use that to create a date dimension table. So what I'm going to do is I'll come here. First thing first, before we do this one, let's check our fact table, right? Our date is starting from what? From where? And when is it ending? This is starting from, let's come here. Let's sort in ascending order. It starts from 1st of January 2011. Then where is it ending? Descending order. It ends, okay, 1st of January 2011. Then it ends 31st of July 2014. Please, someone should note that 1st of January 2011, 31st of June of July 2014. So that's our, so let's go back. So I'm going to be creating a date table that is within this range. So I'll go back to my query here. I can rename this to dim calendar. Remember I said the reason why I did this is so that we can, you know, that would have other options, that other columns that would describe a date, like the year, the month name, and every other thing. So yeah, I'm going to select this comment in my advanced editor. So I'll come here. So not like you're declaring something. So I'm saying first thing first. I'll change that source to start date. Start date. Good. So what's our start date? So I'm going to use the function. I'll use this hash date. Hash. Hold on. Hash date like this. Are you with me? Can we hear me?
Yes.
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 Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right. Thank
Yes.
you very much. Yeah. So I'm going to start date, open parenthesis. So the start date is going to hold the year, the month, and the day. So start with the year. The first, our start date is in 2011, comma. The month was yeah, first, or you can type in 0101, anyone you want to do 0101, anyhow you want it to be. I think it was 111. Yeah, okay. Then I'm done with this. I'll put comma. The next variable I want to declare is my end date. So I'll declare my end date based on what we checked, our end date, our date. So what this means is this is just using like a date function. You want to generate date from, this is year, month, and day. So end date, my end date is in 20, year is 2014, comma, the month is 7, comma, the end date is 31st. Good. So the next thing I want to do now is to generate the list of dates between the start date and the end date. I'm going to name this full date. Full date. Now, to get the list of dates between the declared start date and declared end date, I'm going to use a function called list.date. List.date. So follow me, don't be scared. List.date. This is the function here. Then I'll open parentheses. The first argument is the start as date, which means it means what is your start date. So since I've declared my start date here, I'll just type in start date. Start date. Good, comma. The next one is count as number. Count as number. I can say, okay, is that I use another function called number.from, or I'm just going to, I'm just going to times 365 between 2011 and 2014. Yeah, 2011 and 2014. How many? That's 365, 365. Okay, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. That's let's just use the normal one. Number dot from open parenthesis. Then I'm going to say I want the end date. So I want you to generate number from the end date. That's what I'm telling you to do. Number from the end date. The ones you are done, subtract it minus the same thing. So hold on, I'm going to explain what I'm doing now. Number dot date, open parenthesis, then the start date, then comma. So now what this means is, don't forget the second argument is count as number. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm telling it to extract, let's know the number of dates between the end date and the start date. So since it's date, I have to use a function called number from date to extract the number from this end date, as well as number.date to extract number from this start date. So that you can know the number of days between the end date and the start date. As I use this function, I wanted to like use a simple arithmetic function like multiply 365 by 4. So you can have 4 years like that, but let's just leave it this way, comma. And the next option is argument is step as duration. So I'm going to use hash duration, open parenthesis, 1, 0, 0, 0. What does this mean? It means that the interval is going to be day, by day, 0 hour, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. That's what it means. Then in, what should it return? Let it return full date. So don't be scared. What I did here, now if there's error, you would have seen it here to show you that there's error. So what I did here is I'm saying I declared my start date based on what we expected. Start date is 1st of January 2011. My end date is 31st of July 2014. Then to generate the list of dates from the start date declared here and the end date declared here, I have to use this function called list.date, specify my start date, generated the number of dates between start and end dates, then duration specifying that it is going to be, the interval will be day, just 1 day interval, then 0 hour, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. And now I want to return this full date. And I'm going to hit done. Then this would, now it's saying that number.date wasn't recognized. So let's go back. Now it means there's a problem with, let's go back, number dot. So now the problem is I instead of number dot from, I'm using number dot date. So I'm going to change this now. It is number dot from, not number dot date. I missed that. This is it here. Yeah, so let's hit done. So you can see we now have a list of dates here. So currently what you're seeing here is a list. So I have to convert it to a table. How do I convert to a table? Select that column and you come here and hit to table. So I'll hit to table. So you can see for now, you want to create a table. Do you want to enter a delimiter? No. Show as error? No. Then I'm going to hit OK. So for now, we have a date. I'll just change this to date and change the name from column 1 to date. Hope you are still following me, everybody. Are we still following me? Can we still hear me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes.
So the next thing I want to do is to populate this column with the year, the months, and
Yes,
every other thing. All right, thank you. So how do I populate this? Select the column, then come to your add column group. So in your add column group, inside the from date and time, you would see the option for date. Click on the drop down button. I mean, you see the command for date. Click on the drop down button, and you see we have different options here. I want to extract the year from this. So I'll come here, I'll select year. It will extract year. I'll still go back and select this date. Make sure you're selecting this date. Come here, still in your add column tab, in your from date and time group, click here and say, okay, I want to bring in the month. So when you bring in month, it will extract the month number, right? But what if I want to bring in the month name? I'll come here, still come back here, and I'll come straight down to name of month. It will bring out the name of month. Then I'll come back here, select this. I'll come here. Want to work with quarter? I'll say, okay, I want quarter of the year. So I hit quarter. Oh, what else did I want again? Make sure you're selecting this first column that hosts the date. Come back here. Okay, let's do start of the week. Then if you want to bring in day, go back. Select this. Sorry, make sure you're selecting the date. Select this, come back here, and I'll say, okay, I want to bring in the day. So you can see, we just populated this column. So what's this saying? This dim calendar is describing the column date. It is giving more description to the column. That is why it's called a dimension table. Dimension table describes what's in the fact table. So let's so we have a dim customer, dim product, dim location, facts, and dim calendar table. Now all just gotten from this single data here. So what I want to do now is to load this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables now into Power BI front end, then create relationship between them, form a model. But I don't want to bring in this sales 2011 2014 data. So what do? I'll right click and I'll say I don't want to include it in report refresh. I also don't want to enable load. So I'll uncheck this, right click again, uncheck enable load. So to avoid loading this particular data into Power BI frontend, what you do is to right click and make sure these two options are unchecked. So I'm left to just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Then I'll take it to my Power BI by coming to my home tab and I'll hit close and apply so that it closes it and apply it. It closes the Power Query, then load it into Power BI frontend. If care is not taken by default, you can see it's already creating relationship. It's already syncing the schema. So let's wait for it to be done with the syncing. Yeah, so we have this, right? So I'll come back to my model view. As you can see here now, it has already created relationship between my data, but I'm going to delete all the relationship because I want to do it myself so you can see it together. All right, so what I'm going to do is, let me just make this small a bit so you can see this. So what I'm going to do is to delete relationship. So by default, it is based on my setting, my Power BI setting. So it will always help me create relationship automatically. So it's very important that even if Power BI creates a relationship for you automatically, try to check if it's created the correct relationship. But I'm going to delete everything now. Delete. Yes, delete. How do I delete? Select the line, right click, and you hit delete. Yes, delete. Select the line, right click, and you hit delete. Yes, delete. So I've deleted that now. So let's have it this way. Now, when it comes to, now we've done the normalization, we split into dimension tables. One more to do now is to create relationship. This is where data modeling comes in. Data modeling is the same thing as you creating relationship, linking your tables together, connecting dimension tables to fact table. When it comes to data modeling, we have two types of data model. We have star schema, then we have snowflake schema. So what do I mean? Note that star schema and we have snowflake schema. So let's go back. I have a PDF to explain that here. Where is it? Okay, I think it's here. So let me, yeah, okay. So we have star schema, we have snowflake schema. So this is what called star schema. When you connect your tables together and it forms a star like this, you have a dimension table in the middle, then you have your fact tables in the middle like this, and you have a dimension tables connected to it forming a star. That's a star schema. For snowflake schema, this is where you have sub-dimension tables connecting to dimension tables, then they are all connected to fact tables. What do I mean? As you can see here, for snowflake schema, what you can see here, you can see that this particular table here, this is a product category table. Yeah, let me rename it. Control C, Control V. Dim product category. So that's the name of this table here. Yeah, so you can see that. Yeah, got it. So you can see that we have dim customer, dim location, dim calendar, dim product, all linked to the other fact table, right? But you can see we have dim product category linked and connected to dimension table, not directly to the fact table. So anytime you see sub-dimension tables connecting to dimension tables, then all now linked to the other fact table, you call that kind of schema, that kind of model, snowflake schema. But when you have a data like this, all connected, that all dimension table directly connected to this other fact table, this is called a star schema. Star schema. So now let's go back. When it comes to modeling, there's something called cardinality. So I don't know if we have different type of cardinality. There is one-to-one, many-to-one, one-to-one, many-to-one, or one-to-many, anyone. Then there's many-to-many. So now let me see. Have any one of us heard of this type of cardinality? The one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many. Anybody? Anybody wants to help out?
Yeah, I've heard of it before.
All right. So if you want to say something, just pick one and explain what you think it is.
Okay. I'm coming. I'm trying to zoom my screen so that I can see very well.
Okay.
Okay. Let me pick. Okay, product to the fact table will be from product to fact table will be one to many.
What do you say?
I said from dimension product table to fact table, so the relationship will be one to many from product to
Okay. All right. So
fact table.
yeah. So what I'm actually asking is, I'm trying to ask if we've all heard about this type of cardinalities. If you've heard of one to one, one to many, many to many, and what you think they are. That's what I'm asking. So let me start with one to one relationship. So we have different type of cardinalities. We have one to one. Please note that we have one to many or many to one. It's the same thing. Then we have many to many relationship. This is not mathematics. Let me do what this. So now, one to one relationship. This involves two entities where one record in the first entity is associated with exactly one record in the second entity. For example, it's just saying that when you have in one instance of an entity is linking to one instance of another entity. An example could be, practical example could be, one person to their unique passport. We can't have one person. We can't have one person having, sorry, we can't have two persons having the same passport. Let's use our national passport now, for example. It's only one person to one passport ID, one person to one passport. That is like a one-to-one relationship. So for the each customer will only have one passport. You can't have one person having you can have one passport owned by two persons. That's like a one-to-one relationship. So when you have a single instance of an entity connecting or linking to another to an instance of another entity, that's a one-to-one relationship. Then the second relationship is one-to-many. From when you say one-to-many, this is when a single instance of an entity is being linked to multiple instance of another entity. So what do I mean? What's an example of this could be, when you have one department having many employees. Oh, sales department has 30 employees. That is a one to many relationship. You have just a single department, sales department. And in that department, you have like 30 employees, 40 employees. So it's a one to many relationship. You have a single order, but in that order, you have 30 products. I order for, let's say I place an order on Temu now. In my order, it's just a single order, but in that order, I ordered for a phone, ordered for AirPod. Please don't order for AirPod. They can give you one that bigger than your ear. So you have AirPod, you have, how Temu can be different things you ordered. It's just a single order, but in that order, you have many products. That's a one to many relationship, one to many relationship. So now the third one is many to many relationship. So what it means is when you have many instances of an entity linking up with many instances of another entity. An example of this kind of relationship could be, let's say, a student can take many courses and a class can have many students. A student can take many courses, while a class can have many students. That's a many to many relationship. Are we together? But in our case here, most of the time, one to many is often being used, one to many relationship. When you have a single instance of an entity linking up with, multiple instances of another entity. In the case of our dimension tables here have single instances. Don't forget they don't have duplicate. But this fact table is the one that contains duplicate. So it's going to be like a one instance to many instances here. Why did we say that? You know that in our fact table, this fact table it records the transaction, it records the number of times the customer visit the store. So customer ID 1 can visit the store 10 times to buy something. So in the dim for customer, it will only record the person, just have the record about the person, the name, the age, the gender alone. Why fact table would contain the number of times the person visited the store to buy something. Oh, he came here 1st of January 2011 and bought this particular product for a particular amount. He comes back in February to buy again. So the number of times a customer visit the store will be recorded in the fact table. So that's why you're going to have many instances in this fact table. So how do I create relationship now? So let me zoom a bit. Sorry, this is yeah. Okay, my screen is all right. So now how do I link this? I'll start with product. So I'm going to be using the product ID. So just drag the product ID, press down your left mouse, drag it, then look for product ID on the fact table and place it on it like this. So once I do that, you have this new relationship dialog box pops up. Says, okay, what do you want to do? I want to create a relationship. Fine. From the table is dim product, then we have fact table. So now note something: one to many and many to one, they are still the same thing. It all depends on which table you pick first. So you can see now I picked dim product first, then the next one is fact table. So what is that thing you want to link up together? Product ID, product ID. I can see it's showing one to many. So because we have single instance of product ID in the dim product to multiple instance of product ID in the fact table. Then I'm going to hit save. Make relationship active, hit save. So we have it saved, relationship created.
Go back. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get how you got here.
You didn't get how I got what?
To that new relationship. I lost you for a
I'm going
bit.
to right click, delete. Yeah. So what I did was click on that product ID, select product ID here on dim product. You can pick the one on fact table too. Anyone you are going for depends. Select product ID on products. Press down your left mouse so you can drag, then drag and place it on the product ID in the fact table. So once you do that, it's going to bring out this new relationship dialog box. Are you with me? So you can see this now. So it has highlighted the two columns that are here. Then I'm going to hit save. One to many relationship, and I'll hit save. Yeah. So it's telling you can see you're seeing one and this asterisk. Asterisk it's indicates many. So yeah, it's telling this relationship is a one to many relationship. If it is one to one, you see one to one. If it is many to many, you see asterisk to asterisk. But you're saying one to asterisk, so it means it's saying one to many relationship. What it means is note that you can be asked in interview. What it means is we have single instance of the product ID in the dim product table linking to multiple instance of that product ID in the fact table. That is what it means. So it means that you can give a practical example of saying that you can have, this product ID being sold to different persons. And of course, it's being recorded in the fact table. Yeah, so we have this now. So you might be wondering, now the product ID here on this dim product is called a primary key. It is called a primary key. Why the product ID here in this fact table is called a foreign key. So what do we mean? Remember this dim product is talking about product. Yeah. So it contains everything details here is about the product. So this product ID is a unique identifier for every record in this dim product. It doesn't belong to sales fact table, but because it's going to serve as a link between sales fact table and the dim products, that is why it's called a foreign key here. It's like saying that I'm a Nigerian, right? I'm a Nigerian, that's my nationality, I'm a Nigerian. The moment I leave Nigeria to the US, I become a foreigner. So product ID here belongs to dim product. The moment it lists dim product to fact table, it becomes a foreigner. So it becomes a foreign key. So a practical example. Primary key, because it primarily belongs to the dim product. Foreign key here because it's just going to serve as a link between fact table and the product table. Yeah, so that's why it's very important. Good. So now let me do for dim customer. I'll press down my left mouse as well, drag this customer ID and place it where we have customer ID on the fact table here. So once I did that, I also have this new relationship dialog box. So it's saying, okay, dim customer, I'm going to be linking based on customer ID here, customer ID here. And I'm sure it is one-to-many relationship. So if it's not one-to-many relationship, you can always select what you want to work with, but we know it's one-to-many relationship. Good. Then I'm going to hit save. And that's linked it. Then I'll come here to location. I'll go with location ID. Then I'll drag it, same thing, place it here. Then you can see location ID, one-to-many relationship, and I'm going to save this. Save. Then we'll go with dim calendar. I'm going to use the dates as the link. Select dates here, drag the date and paste it on this date here. So one-to-many as well. I'm going to hit OK. You can see we connected this data. Now, one of the importance of connecting data is so that anything you're performing in a particular, maybe you're creating a measure or anything, is going to be connected. So now let's say, for example, now, let's say, now this is forming a star schema. As you can see, it's forming a star. All dimension tables are connected to the fact table. This is a star schema. Now, why is it important that you link your table together? So that when you're performing any analysis, you can get the accurate result. So imagine that I'm not connected to this dim, I didn't link dim customer and fact table. Let me delete this relationship now. Delete. Then let me go back to my reports. Now let me calculate. Let's do okay. So let's do come to dim customers here. Let's add in customer gender. Yeah. Then let's add in revenue. Now let's look at this together. Oh, we may not see this well. Or can we see my screen well? Can we see the values very well? It's too tiny. Can we see the values well? It's too tiny.
Yes.
You can see it. So what do you notice? What do you notice for female and male? What do you notice the value for female and male? What do you notice?
The same value.
The same value. And the reason why it's giving us, what is just showing us is the sum of revenue over time from 2011 to 2014. That's what it's just showing us. So it's not splitting to show us the one for female correctly and the one for male. And that's because this table, they are not connected, they're not linked. So let me link them now. Drag customer ID now to this customer ID. Then save, link them together. Then let's go back. Can you see now that's shifted? So now that the customer table is linked to the fact table, we now have correct values because they are connected. So it's very important that your data tables are connected, else you would have not wrong data. You would not analyze the data well. So it's very, very, very important that you link your tables together. So that's that on that. So I was saying something about showing us how to create calendar table also in the Power BI front end. So I'm going to be using something I call Calendar Auto. So Calendar Auto is a DAX function using generating date. So what Calendar Auto will do is it will check through your model, right? Once you check through your model, it will generate list of dates. Then you can now use your DAX function to generate orders. So let's go back. I want to create a new all I have to do is just come here, select this, then I'll select any of the table here, and I'll say, okay, let's click on new table. So once you click on new table, then I'll come here, I'll just type in calendar auto like this, and I'll hit enter. So let's wait. So can you see this? Are we together? Did we see this? All I did was just select dim calendar, any of the tables here, and I come here and I selected new table. So when I click on new table, then I just typed in table equals calendar auto, open bracket, close bracket, that's all. So doing that generated a list of dates from 2010 down. If you check this now, let's sort in descending order to 2014. So it's checked through our model. Calendar auto will check through your model. So this is the DAX I used. Table equals calendar auto, open bracket, close bracket. So it will check through your model. So you have to be very, very conscious when you're using this. You should check through your model, all the dates, then generate a list of dates from the minimum date to the maximum date based on the dates in your model. So I was sure that the only date that I had in my model was the one in the date table alone, dates table, and as well as the other fact table date column. So you check through those two models and pick the date. That's how you can see this here. So I'm going to first thing first, make it short. Select this, come here, use short dates. I don't want date and time, short dates. Then what I want to do next is to add more columns like the year, the month, and every other thing. So I'll come here, I'll come to new column, click on new column. So what do you want to do? I want to create a new column called, remember I taught us how to use some DAX function, year and every other thing. So year, type in year, then I'll come here and say year, open brackets. So what do I want to extract here from? I want to extract here from the date. So I'll scroll up. Date is coming from this table, close parenthesis. Then I'm going to hit enter. So I have this, add more column. Let's do month number. So I'll give it month number. We did this in our last class, so I don't think you should have forgotten this. Month number. Use a function called month, open parenthesis. Then I'll type in the date. Don't select this one. Oh, scroll up. You want the one that is coming from this table. Close parenthesis. I'm going to hit enter. It will return month number. I would add in, let's say I want to bring in the month name, but this time it's going to be month short. So I'll type in month short. That's first three letters of the month. So who can remind me how we did month short in our last class? return all the first 3 letters of the month. Who can remind me? Anybody wants to remind me? Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we hear me, please? Am I the one on this class, on this call?
We are together. We are here.
Oh, Adekunle Diamond, you're here. Amazing. Okay. Who can remember how I showed us in our last class how to generate month short? Okay, let's just continue. Nobody knows it. Format. Then what's
Format.
the date? I want to generate format from the date. Good, comma. What's the format? So I'm going to just put in 3 M's, close parentheses, and I'm going to hit enter. So that would help us. Can see month short, December. So let's do quarter. So I want to bring in quarter. So I'll come here to new column. I'm just trying to show us how you can also create date table. It's very important. So someone may wonder, why do you need to create date table? I said, in case you want to perform some time intelligence functions, you want to do trend analysis, and it's also very important and useful if you're working in an organization. Teams from other people from other teams can as well connect to the same date table or the same dim calendar. So I'm going to give this quarter. Yes, I'll come here. I'm going to use the format because I want to return Q1, Q2 like that. Format, then date. The date is coming from this table. Then we have format. So my format is going to be this QQ, capital letter Q, like this, close parenthesis and hit enter. This should return Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, depending on what quarter it is. Then if you want to return day or week, let's do day. So let's do day. So I'll just give it day. Then I'll use the function day, open bracket. It only takes one argument, the date you want to work with, which is the one coming from the table 1. You're still going to rename that table. Close parenthesis, and I'm going to hit enter. So we have this now. Let me rename this table to, I'll rename the table to, I'll call it rolling calendar instead. Rolling calendar. So it can be different from the other one. Rolling calendar. So we have this, right? This is another dimension that we can create in your Power BI front end using DAX. We did this other one in the back end of Power BI using M code. We use this one using DAX. So I come back to my model and say, okay, I don't want to connect with this dim calendar here. I can delete this, right click, then hit delete. Yeah, delete. Then I'll bring this here and link it. Same format. And we are good. Same format. Are we together? It's very, very easy to do it. Just practice and you'll be fine. So let me just delete this. Okay. All right. So before we look at, I know we're going to start our project fully tomorrow, by God's grace, but let's just quickly look at. Okay. So I was saying something about DAX in our last class. I just want to go over it again. Then go over it again and sorry, give me 1 minute. All right. Are we with me, please? Are we with me?
Yes.
Can we
Yes,
hear me,
ma'am.
please? Sorry, let me quickly chip in
Yes.
something very quick before we look at those DAX things. Some are wondering what was the difference between Excel and Power BI. So let's look at some basic similarities and differences between these two. For Excel, in Excel you have spreadsheets. In Power BI you have report view, right? In Excel you have pivot tables. In Power BI you have custom visuals. In Excel you have A1 notations, you have your cell reference, you have your cell formulas. In Power BI you have interactive dashboards. In Power BI you have Power BI service. You can't see Power BI service in something like Excel service. Only Power BI service in Power BI. Then what's that thing that is similar between Excel and Power? What's the thing you find in Excel you can also find in Power BI? You can find Power Query in Excel. You can find that data model in Excel and in Power BI as well. You can find these two, Power Query in Excel and in Power BI, data model in Excel and in Power BI. The data model, you can see data model in Power Pivot in Excel. Then you can see data model, of course, in your Power BI front end in Excel, in Power BI. Then there's DAX. The same way you use DAX to calculate measures, calculate columns in Power BI, the same way you can also do it in Power Pivot in Microsoft Excel. So that's the similarity between the two of them, the similarity between and the differences. So what I want to explain initially is, yeah, okay. That's yeah. So the types of DAX function that we have, I already showed us a site called DAX Guide where you can get different DAX to work with. So these are just some basic classification of DAX. So we have some math and stat function. We have the math and stat are functions that are used for aggregation, sum, average, max, mean, divide, count rows, distance count. All these are used if you want to perform some aggregative operations. Then we have iterative functions, or you call them iterators, like sum x, average x. If you want to perform row level calculations, remember how we use sum x, average x in our last class. If you watch the previous video, you see how we did that to calculate without having to create a new column. So iterators are used if you want to do row by row evaluation, row level calculations. Then we have some logical functions like if. All these functions are used if you want to, do work with conditional expressions. So we have if error, and, or, not, switch, true, false. Don't worry, we want to start our project tomorrow. We see how we work around that. Then we have some text functions. Text functions are used if you want to manipulate text strings or value format. There's concatenate if you want to combine two text strings together. Like let's say you have a column that contains first name, last name. You want to combine them together. You can use your concatenate function to do that. You can use your combined values to do that. There's format. I just showed you how to use format. There's left, mid, and right to do that in the last class. There's upper and lower to change the cases of our data. There's len to count the number of characters a text string contains. There's replace and there's search and find. You want to search for something. There's replace, substitute, there's trim. If you later have leading or trailing spaces, you want to trim it, you do that. Then we have, filter function. These are functions that are used to manipulate the table and filter context. There's the most powerful of all that I've worked with several times, calculate function. You'll see how we use that in our project, calculate function. There's filter, there's all except, all selected. And there's one thing I like about Power BI, the fact that when you type in a particular DAX function, it tells you what it is used for, as well as the argument to input if you want to get some particular measure or calculation. Then we have some table functions. These are functions that are used to create or manipulate tables and output. So we have summarize, add columns, generate series, distinct, values, union, intersect, top n. So we have some date and time functions. These are functions that are used to manipulate date and time values. They also have they can also be used to handle intelligence calculations. So we have dates. We work with dates. We worked with year, month, day. There's today, there's now. Today we return to this date. Now we return to this date and time. Don't forget. There's weekday, week number. There's network days, just like in Excel. So there's date diff to find difference between two dates. Look at it in our project. Then we have time intelligence function. We have dates YTD, dates MTD, date add, dates between. We work with this date add in our project. So look forward to that. Then we have this is called relationship this is a relationship group. These are functions used to manage and modify table relationships: related table, cross filter, user relationship. So I think we'll be able to work with either one or two of these functions in this group. But I've shown you a site called DAX Guide where you can if you're not sure of how to use a particular function or when to use it, just type in the function name in DAX Guide. It will give you the definition, examples, practical examples of how to use that particular function. So that's on the DAX types of DAX functions that we have. So let's quickly read through our project and see if we can do something before the class ends today. But is there any question so far? Anybody? Any question? You got stuck? You were confused? You need clarity? Anybody? So let me move forward.
What do you mean?
Anybody? Yeah, who is saying something? Anybody? So you got stuck. You don't know what to do.
Hello,
Just
can you hear me?
yeah, I'm listening. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can hear you.
So actually, the network is very poor today. So I hardly got enough of the class, but no. My question is actually on the relationship stuff.
Okay.
Why you were doing relationships between the table. So I want to ask: is it like the relationship is created based on the columns? That's why we're having one to many relationship, or based on the table, like between the table or between the columns?
Now let me explain what the one-to-one it is based on. Now, relationship is connecting tables to tables, right? But what they are using
Yeah.
to connect those tables together is the unique identifier of each tables. Yeah. For these dimension tables here, what I'm using to link them to the fact table is their primary key. Primary key serve as a unique identifier for every record in a table. Product ID is a primary key for product. Dim customer ID is primary key for dim. So I don't mean we have a customer name in this dim customer table now. We can have two customers, just like when you're in school now. You have you can have two persons being sorry, who am I speaking with? Who am I speaking with, please? What's your name? I'm not seeing my screen right now. What's
Abdullah.
your name? Abdullah. Yeah, thank you. So
Abdullah.
we can have two persons being Abdullah in your school. But the only thing that differentiates Abdullah A from Abdullah B, it is the matric number, right? So that's why it is called unique identifier for the entities. So in this day, remember we were creating the dim customer, dim product, dim calendar, dim location. We are removing duplicates from there because they are meant to hold the records, just single instances of those persons there. It's only meant to hold the record of the person, not duplicates. Dimension table is meant to hold distinct, unique records of each person's, of each entities, of each attribute in that entity, right? But this fact table, it is going to show the transaction record, transaction number of times customer comes in and everything. So let's look at dim customer now. Let's say customer ID with customer ID 1 visit the store 10 times. I was saying visit the store 10 times. 10 times. They are wondering, okay, it came in January, but came in February, March, down to October. The person came to visit the store to buy one or two things. In the fact table, it is going to record the number of times the person came, what the person bought, everything on the fact table. The fact table will hold that record. It will hold the quantifiable, you know, data, the event, the number of times person come. It will hold the record. Dimension table will not talk about those number of times or anything. It will only hold record of the person. So I can come to my fact table now, right? My fact table, and I'll say, oh, on the 2nd of July 2013, customer ID 17428 comes to purchase this particular product. This is the order quantity, this is the unit cost, this is everything, all those record. Then you are now wondering, okay, who is customer ID 17428? To get description, you will now refer back to the dim customer. So I'll go to 17428. I'll go to the dim customer. Who is customer ID 12748? What is the customer age? What is the customer gender? So I will find the person here. Then I can see the age of the person and the gender. If there's a name, I'll seen the name of the person. So the table describes this. So in the fact table, the fact table would show that. So if customer ID 17428 visits the store, so if you can see now, we had the person, he came 2nd of July. Yeah, he came, that's the 2nd of July too. You can see we have, he bought something. He bought, this is the ID on that same day. The person bought for order ID 1, he bought product PO P004. Same thing, P004. The first quantity was 21, second quantity was 7. Yeah. So what this means is that fact table would, if the person comes 10 times, it will record the person 10 times. But in this person, on the deemed customer, the person's record is just once. So if I'm linking a table, it is going to be saying one instance of that person's record in the deemed customer to the multiple instance, the number of times the person visits the store to buy whatever he or she came to buy, the number of times to be. So if the person visits store 10 times, so it is me linking the person's record here, which is just appearing once, to the number of times the person visits the store. Do you get the example I'm giving? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Does it make sense to you? Or you're
Yes,
still
I
okay?
get it.
So no, one thing you should know that fact table would record the number of times a person or a product is being purchased or a person came to purchase something, but dimension table will only hold their record, the unique record of the person. So it is you saying single instance of that person in the dimension table to the multiple instance, the number of times he visit that store in the fact table. So it's just once you get the logic, it's not a problem. All right, anybody, any question? Anybody? Is anybody lost? Anybody lost? All right, so I think what we'll do is, because our time is almost up. This is first 7:47. So we'll go through this slide together. Then if time permits, I'm not sure if time will permit. So I want to ask questions. So tomorrow would work on start the project's work. Then if we unable to finish tomorrow, would complete on Sunday evening. So please bear with me. We should have just finished tomorrow, but if unable to finish tomorrow, we'll do it on Sunday evening. All right, so let's go to this slide. Power BI class project. Yeah, so we're looking at a retail supply chain sales analysis. Overview of the business says North American Retail is a leading retail company with operations spanning multiple locations, offering a diverse range of products to cater to various consumer segments. The company has established a robust presence in its region and is committed to delivering exceptional customer service and a seamless shopping experience. So, what is your task as a data analyst? You have been entrusted with performing a thorough analysis of the North American retail sales data in your capacity as a data analyst, gaining important insights into a range of business variables such as profitability, business performance, product and customer specifics is the goal. So you get access to a data set from the management team that include comprehensive data on product category, the customers, the profits, the returns, and sales performance. So finding areas for improvement and developing strategies to improve the business's operations and profitability will be greatly aided by your analysis. So what are the key questions to answer? It is number one, delivery insight. For the delivery insights, you are asked what is the average delivery time across different product categories? One. Two, what is the average delivery time for each customer segment? Three, what are the top 5 fastest and top 5 slowest delivered products? Then four, what is the most preferred delivery mode by customers? Then profitability analysis, we have which product category generates the highest profit? Which customer segment contribute the most profit? Who are the top 5 customers driving the highest profit? 3. Product distribution. What is the total number of products by category? Then we have return rate analysis. We have to determine which ship mode has the lowest and highest return rate, which sales representative achieve the lowest return rate, which which city or state demonstrates the best supply chain performance based on return rate. Then you have to find what is the total ship sales, what is the sales trend over the years comparing with the previous year sales. So what you have to do is to do a thorough report with important visualization, insights, and practical recommendations that would accompany your analysis. So I think the first thing as a data analyst, the first thing you want to do is to understand, first step, understand your objective. That's the first thing. Once you can understand your objective, it does not mean that we don't have other problems in front. At least your problem is half solved. Because if you don't understand the problem, yes, you will end up solving your own problem. Understand the objective, understand what you've been asked to do. Once you understand perfectly, that would let you know, okay, oh, I understand the objective now. Do I have the data that I need to work on this analysis? The data they gave to me, the data the company provide to work on, is it enough for me to answer these questions? So understanding your objective will help you know if you have the right data, or if the data you have is enough to work with, or you still need to source for more. So now, but in our case, I think we have the data to work with. So we have the data here. So how do you download this data? To download the data, all you have to do is just click on this place here. So when you click on it, it will take you to Google Sheet where you have the data. So you can see it's on Google Sheet. Then how do you download it? Come here to your file. When you come to your file, then come here, file, and you hit download. Then you download the data as either Microsoft Excel file or comma separated value, anyone you want to, but you can go with the Excel file. So I just showed you how you can download now. So that's the data we're going to be working with tomorrow by God's grace. So you can also take out time to read through your objective, right? Understand what you've been told to do. So when we come to class tomorrow, it won't, everybody knows what we want to do. So that's all that. All right. Any question if I ask my question? Anybody, any question? Any question? Any question? So we are done for today. Any question?
Good evening, ma.
All right, good evening, sir.
Yeah. So while I was trying to use concatenate on the DAX function,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm listening.
So
Yeah.
I noticed that I couldn't separate the
Yeah.
two
Yes.
columns.
So now let me tell you what to do. Although for me, if you want to do that, you may end up doing nested concatenate. That is concatenate function inside concatenate function, or just use combined values, or just use ampersand. What do I mean? Let me quickly do something. So let's say now I don't have a column. This table now for customer. Now I didn't mean it holds first name and last name. That'd be very easy. But let's say that I want to combine the customer age and the customer gender. Let's assume. Let's say I want to do that. Let's do that now. Let's assume now. Let's imagine that this is first name and this is last name, and I want to combine them together to form first name and last name combined together, full name. But this is just age and gender. So today I'll come here and click on new column. To use concatenate function, I'll come here. Let's give this customer age, that's age and gender. So I'll use concatenate. Now concatenate only takes two arguments, text one and text two. If I select customer age, yeah, comma, then text two, I'll put customer gender, I'll close parentheses, then I'll hit enter. You can see there's no room for space. That's because there's no option. You can't input more than two arguments. So how then will I be able to put space in between this gender, the age and the gender? To do this, I'm just going to have to either you do nested concatenate, or you use combined values, or you use ampersand. So what do? I'll come here. This is concatenate. I have this. Now type in concatenate again. Concatenate again like this. So I have dim customers, the customer age first. I'll put concatenate again. Now this first one now will now be my space. So I'll type in character for space, comma, then text two, the customer gender, and I'll close parentheses. So what I'm doing here is I have concatenate, set up concatenate. I'm saying for the first argument, put in the customer age. For the second argument, put in another concatenate function. So I'll be able to put in character for space. Then I'll put in the gender. Let's hit enter now. And you can see we now have a space in between. Even if you can't see it very much, there's a space in between. Another option you can use is use ampersand. So how do I use ampersand? Type in customer age. Yeah, customer age, then ampersand, shift 7 for ampersand, put my character for space. Character for space is double quotation mark space, double quotation mark, double quotation mark space, double quotation mark. Then another ampersand, Then I'll type in the customer gender. So you can also try it with first name and last name. So what I'm saying is combine customer age, put a space in between, combine it with customer gender. If I hit enter, we'll still have the same result. You see the same thing. Another way you can do it again is using combined values. So combined values also work with address. Let's say you want to form address from street number, the street name, the city, the country, all combined together. So I'm going to type in combined values. Combined values. So you can see it helps you. So the first argument is the delimiter. What do you want to separate your data? Space. So I'll type in double quotation mark, space. Double quotation mark, space, double quotation mark. This is my delimiter, comma. Second argument is expression 1, which is customer age, comma. I want to combine it to customer gender, and I'll close parenthesis and I'll hit enter. The same result. Yeah, so let's see. Oh, I put age instead of gender. So does that make sense to you? Did you get that?
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
Yeah, so you can use, if you want to use concatenate, it has to be nested concatenate, using concatenate instead of concatenate. If you don't use ampersand, just very easy. The first column, ampersand space, that's scatter for space, ampersand, the second column. You can even do it for multiple columns, or you can use combined values. So anyone you want to work with. So that's what you can use concatenate or join your text strings together. All right. So any other person, any question? Any question, anybody? Where are the sisters? Why are we silent today? Where are the sisters? Why are you silent today? What's going on? What's going on? I'm not hearing from Isoken. I'm not hearing from Joy. I'm not hearing from, where's Amao? Where's Amao Adenike? Yeah, I'm not hearing from Nike. So where are we? What's going on?
I'm clear with what you explained earlier.
Okay. All right. So you don't have any question at all from everything we've done so far today? Any question? Or you have to go by the video and watch?
I will definitely go back to the video. But
Okay.
I think today's one I got more clarity about on today's class.
Amazing. Thank you. All right. Okay. Adekunle Diamond. Yeah. So I think I love the purple parts. Adekunle, can you hear me? Are you with me? Can Adekunle hear me?
Yeah.
Joy, any question?
Yeah.
All right. Adekunle. Any question? Are you satisfied?
Yeah.
Do you have? Are you lost?
I just wanted to ask if this
Okay.
class will
Yeah,
be
I have a
available before the next class.
Of course, I would upload
If
that
the
this night.
recording.
So, yeah, I will upload that this night. Yeah, I will do that this night. Yeah, Adekunle, do you get what we've done so far today? Did you? Do you have any question?
Yeah.
Do you have any question?
Not on tonight. No, I didn't have any class on tonight class. I think I will still have to go over the video again.
Definitely.
We have a question on the assignment.
Okay, what's the question on the assignment?
I came late, so I don't know whether maybe a review or correction.
we do that. So you can watch the recorded session. It's part of the first thing we did when we joined the class. So you can watch that. Yeah. So anybody, Aminat, do you have any question? Anybody? Any question? I don't care. I want to hear from you. Media Labi, I want to hear from you. I'm going to ask the question now before we end the class. So any question?
Because my network did not even allow me to engage the class.
Okay, sorry. Media, you're saying something. Sorry, Nike. You can worry what
Yeah, I don't have any question, man. Good evening, man. So
all right,
I joined a bit. I joined a bit late due to network also, but at least I've been able to.
Yeah, you get that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so one question before we not one question. I want to ask two questions. Can someone quickly explain the cardinalities that we have? The one-to-one relationship, one-to-many, many-to-many relationship. Can you explain with the practically? I did that in class. I want to hear from you. Let me see if you understand what I explained. Explain that. Then can someone explain what data model is? I have three questions now. Question one, cardinalities. That is, what is one-to-one relationship? One-to-many, then many-to-many. Let me see if you understand. That's one. Question two, what are the two types of model that we have? Two types of model. Question 3, now different persons. Now question 3 is differentiate between fact tables and dimension tables. So that's the 3 questions I have for this class. What question 1? Who is going for question 1? The 3 candidates that we have: one to one, many to many, one to many. Who can explain with practical example? Who is going first? Who wants to say something on that? Who wants to say something?
Can I
Does that
try?
mean that we did not get? Okay, Joy wants to say something about that.
I'll try.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So for
Joy. Okay.
one to many
Okay.
is one single instance of an entity to
Okay.
many others somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's a
So
practical example you
like
can give?
one student in a university can be
Mm-hmm.
taking several units.
Okay.
Or one class or one grade can be having many students.
Okay.
Then one to one is me and my passport number,
Okay.
my unique identifier.
Okay.
Then what was the third one? Is many to many.
Yeah, many to many.
Oh, that's many to many. I didn't understand it very well.
So many. Okay. So many to many is when you have multiple instances of an entity linking up with multiple instances of another entity. For example, you can say you can have many students taking one course, and can have a single class having many students. Do you get that? In a class now, we can have, many students taking one particular course or taking biology. And that same class holds multiple students. A single class still hold multiple students. Do you get that?
Yes.
All right. All right. So the second question, thank you very much, Joy, for answering that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Second question is differentiate. What are the 2 types of model that we have? Yeah, type of model. And just give a little explanation on those 2 types of model. So who's going to answer that? I want to be sure that we understood what I did in class today. 2 types of model. Data model. I explained that in class. Okay. Say something, even if say your whatever you want to be confident. We are all learning. You don't have to say the correct. Of course, if you say correct thing is good. Just use your idea of what you think. You don't have to use big grammars or anything. Say it the way it comes to your head. Yeah. So listening.
All right.
Okay, you can go on.
All right.
Okay.
So, talking about the 2 type of models. So I learned
All
that we
right.
have star schema
Okay.
and the snowflake schema. So the
Okay.
star schema is when we have the dimension tables, so connected to one fact table.
Okay.
So while the snowflake schema is when we have an extension from one of the dimension tables, so that are connected to a single fact table.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So the last question was, who can remind me now? Did I just miss that? The last question was on fact tables and dimension tables. Yeah.
Between fact.
Yeah. Okay.
So fact table can store like the numerical and something that are measurable in our
Okay.
data. So
Okay.
for maybe when we have a sales table can contain something like maybe the sales ID, date, product ID, customer ID, quantity, the amount, the unit sold, and so on and so forth. So
Okay.
it usually contain like the transactions or the events around the sales.
Okay.
And it can contain duplicates.
Okay.
Then dimension can just store like the descriptive of a particular entity. For example, maybe when
Okay.
we have a product table now, so a product table can contain maybe product ID and then the description of that product ID, maybe product name, the categories, the quantity of that product that we have, and so on and so forth. And that product dimension table doesn't contain any duplicate.
All right.
And
Thank you.
yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. That was an amazing explanation. Thank you very much. So, yeah, thank you. Ladies, what happened now? What's going on? Sisters, what's going on? You are falling my hand. Well, only joy. What's going on? Sisters. So one last question. A female. I need a female. I need a female. A female. Can you okay? Is okay, you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
What do you say? What do you say, Nike?
I said network did not allow us to enjoy today's class at all.
Yeah, sorry, so sorry about that. Sorry. Yeah, so now one question, and I want the sister to answer that question. A female should answer the question. What can you say about data normalization? Yeah, what can you say about data normalization? What do you think it is? What is data normalization? And if someone wants to explain what primary key versus foreign key, what they are, what those two, what do you think primary key is? What do you think foreign key is? You know, yeah, those two questions. I need a female to answer. Okay, just pick one of the question and answer. And we'll end the class. All right.
So let me think about the primary key.
Okay, all right then.
Key.
Okay.
The primary key is unique and it cannot be empty. For foreign key, it talk about an entity in another table, like it refers to something in another table.
Okay. Okay. So you can say primary keys are their unique identifier for every record in a table, while foreign key is what links one table or the fact table to the dimension tables. Okay. All right. Thank you. Anybody wants to say something? It's okay. You want to say something? I'm thinking a
I
little about.
wanted to
Okay.
give a try with the data normalization.
Oh yeah, go because I use it as an example. So let's go. Let's go. All right. Yeah.
So it's a process that we use to, rearrange or rather structure our data so that we have multiple tables whereby each of the table we have a data that is related, that has relationship with the major table, so something like that.
Yeah, you got that. You got that. I mean, in your own words. Thank you so much, everybody. Today we had an amazing session. I mean, I had time to load the document that I need for this class. So yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining tonight. Thank you for today. Thank you so much, Adekunle, Zainab, Joy, Isoken, Ayomide, Abdullahi, Adenike, Aminat, for every other person. Yesterday, Adebayo is here, Breakthrough is here, Success is here. Thank you for joining tonight. Thank you for giving yourself to learning. Thank you for being consistent. We see your effort and we appreciate it. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining today. I'll make sure to upload your materials, recording tonight before I sleep so that we can all watch before the class tomorrow. So see you tomorrow, same time, same platform. Maybe having a different link, maybe having a Zoom or still Team, depends. I would let us know before our class tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
tonight.